So we're here today to talk about Child's Play. How did you get introduced to Child's Play in 1988?
I, growing up, had a video store in our local Giant Eagle, and my mom would go off and do her groceries and I'd be bored as shit. So I'd sneak into the video section, look at all the VHS tape covers.
For a great selection in videos, come to Eagle Video.
And the horror movie section was both enticing and frightening to me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always, it wasn't even the first Child's Play cover art, it was Child's Play 2, the one with the Jack in a Box, and the shears. And I would like notice it in the corner of my eye and I'd be like, holy shit.
Well, I was introduced to Child's Play much later. I was kind of late to the party, if you will.
Did I introduce you to Child's Play?
I don't know. I had seen it probably in my late teens, maybe early 20s.
Okay.
I would argue that this holds up today for several reasons. One, it kind of functions as a drama and not so much as just a
there's not a ton of violence in it. It's really a family drama with some really good suspense.
Mm-hmm. When the violence does hit, it's effective.
Yeah, because they don't.
And unexpected.
It's not gratuitous violence. It's well placed violence in the world of the movie.
So these elements sort of elevate it past just a horror movie.
Yeah, there's some
nice. So it turns into a drama. There's some like detective work paired with good cinematography, great set design. They really utilize how like shitty Chicago is at the time.
Chicago was pretty shitty. The economic state of Chicago was kind of dog shit.
At that time.
Late 80s. And they really used the environment to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They also kind of touched upon a really big prevalent topic like that started kind of in the mid 80s, which is like consumerism focused on children, which they like touch upon in the very beginning when you first see Andy, the little kid.
Oh, a little TV show.
Little TV show made specifically to sell the doll and the
sort
doll's
of reminiscent
product.
of Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, He-Man.
Garbage Pail Kids.
A big influence for Chucky was the My Buddy dolls. Were you ever like familiar with those guys?
Not at the time, but I am now aware.
They're horrific looking. And it was the first time that microchips were being used in dolls as well. So
they
was
talk
and move on their own.
We have to talk about Brad Dourif.
Oh man, yeah.
He's amazing. His voice.
I love him in most things. I think he's one of the greatest living actors of this time. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was great in it.
Exorcist 3.
Exorcist 3, where he loses his goddamn mind.
I'm alive!
If you don't know, Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer from the beginning, gets chased down by police. He ducks into a warehouse filled with Chucky dolls. And then right as he's about to get shot up, he's
voodoo magic.
He voodoos his way into the My Buddy doll.
Chris Sarandon, who plays Detective Mike Norris, is very good.
Also, yeah, he's great.
I've only really seen him in Fright Night, but I really liked him in Fright Night, where he plays a villain in that movie.
So great performances all around.
Yeah. Catherine, I forget her last name, the mom. Karen Barkley is the character's name.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen that actress in many other things besides this movie, but I thought she was great as a kind of lower middle class mom, single mom.
Yeah, she works as a jeweler.
Jeweler in a department store.
Right, very working class.
Yeah.
Very, I bet a lot of people at the time could sort of attach themselves to this character.
Yeah, because
it's a very,
I think the economic
normal kind of looking person, just working a normal job, but just put into ridiculous situations.
Yeah, and she wants to give her kid, the best life. She wants to like give him the things that he wants, and she'll do anything to make him happy. And she's not financially stable like a lot of people in the country at that time, and still at this time. And the first opportunity she gets to buy this expensive doll for her son at a discounted price, like she jumps on.
So what I think we're trying to get at is a lot of genre horror films don't have a lot of these elements.
No, they don't have a ton of themes, I feel
Characters you can relate to, latch on to, and understand, you know, which is asking a lot of a horror film, I feel like. And especially, you know, actors of this caliber being in a horror film.
I think a lot of, there's a few that come to mind that are similar like that, like Halloween, you know, their characters and performances are pretty solid in the original Halloween, and the themes of like the suburban nightmare there. Did you know, I believe her name is Jessica Walters, and she's the actress who plays Lucille Bluth on Arrested Development.
Lucille Bluth?
Lucille Bluth, yeah.
Oh my god.
She was going to voice Chucky originally when this was first getting started.
So why is this film worth your time in 2020?
It's entertaining. It has some great performances for a horror movie.
Is it scary?
I believe so. I think people's fear of dolls is going to be always present. It's like that uncanny valley sort of mentality. Like, I think that alone, and the fact that a big majority of the population shares that fear of dolls coming to life and talking.
But I would believe that it still works even if you're not afraid of dolls.
As like a family drama, yeah.
Well, and it's pretty tense too.
Yeah.
Throughout the film.
Yeah, the suspense builds up pretty nice.
You know, it doesn't play all of its cards in the first 10 minutes.
It's clever.
Yeah, it like reveals information slowly, and when you need it, it's easy to follow.
It doesn't treat its audience like dumb babies.
Yeah. It's not a perfect movie, but it's very entertaining. It's very well made.
I think it succeeds in what it's trying to do, which is telling this suspenseful story about this killer doll, but also this story about this struggling family in 1988
made at kind of the right
Chicago.
time. Yeah, I mean, like, horror movies were sort of oversaturated, especially at that time, too.
Oh, yeah.
So many disposable slashers, which I still enjoy, but, you know, you think of horror film, you think of, you know, Friday the 13th Part 5 or something.
Oh, God.
When you're in 1988, so.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, like, you know, movies like this are refreshing, especially at the time, so.
Made a shit ton of money, too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I think it was a budget of $9 million.
And how many sequels are we up to now?
Like 7.
We're up to 7 sequels.
Listen, they're not all great. But I personally love them because it's always been the same writers, so the characters have been consistent and the stories.
I would argue anything past 3 is unwatchable.
Listen, I think you need to give Bride of Chucky another chance.
Oh my god. Which one is John Waters in?
He's in Seed of Chucky when he has a kid.
It's disgusting.
Seed of Chucky. Chucky has character development over the 7 movie span of his franchise career. Like, he has a kid, he gets a wife. I think at one point he just kind of accepts he's a killer doll and works with it. He has more character development.
He becomes self-aware. Well, I guess he's been self-aware the whole time.
He's very
He doesn't think he's actually a person. He's well aware of that he's a doll.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it!
Well, that's the end of the video.
okay.